I don't know why Google has to be like this. All right, we're up and running. Don't know what that was. I will be real glad when I can ditch my current ISP, which will be here in a couple weeks. And
Negative, Commander.
Denied. Please decrease range and resubmit.
Get Google Fiber installed.
Docking request approved. You are cleared to set down on landing pad 2-4.
Okay, now I've completely lost bearings. Here we go. I also need to pop that window out so I can see you guys easier. Close. Alright.
Unable to comply.
Now, I don't know why YouTube has to do this the way they do. It's very stupid.
Maintain your approach, Commander. Ground services are ready and waiting for your arrival.
Not the smoothest approach ever to a station. In fact, we're stuck. Back up, please. Thank you. 24. Let's see. You want the,
Landing complete. Execute system shutdown. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau wishes you a pleasant and productive visit, Commander.
you want the Artemis suit, obviously. And then... you are going to want... detailed surface scanner. And that should be it, because your full spectrum scanner is built in. Oh, your discovery scanner. Which, so, yeah, you just need planetary landing capability, the suit, and your probes, and you should be good. Alright, let's do dumb stuff. The planetary probes, the surface scanner. A detailed surface scanner. Hull reinforcement. Yes. Nothing to do about that shield generator, is there? This is always the great debate right here. We'll leave it as is for now. This is about to be so dumb. All right. Oh, this is... Let me set up my fire groups. There we go. Oh, lordy. Lordy. Oh, yeah, let's turn in our bounties before we leave. Because we might not come back with them. I may blow us up. Where's that high-rise at? Oh, duh, we're in normal space. Starport Services. Admin. Alright. This is about to be really stupid, guys. Landing gear.
Ship released. Please
Gear coming up.
rate speeds when traversing the docking bay.
Behold the Railgun Corsair. Alright, I am not about to be insane enough to go into the Hazres with this. We're gonna this bitch. Everybody is hoping now that they've done 3 mediums that we're going to get a big ship next. There are several more ships done and slated for this year. I've determined I'm absolutely the worst combat pilot ever. I smell a story there, and I kind of need to know what happened. work too. No, don't say that because they'll get its mass right this time. The hope is that they'll finally give us the Panther Clipper. I don't hold out much hope for that, but that's what everybody wants. Alright, so there's every chance that I am about to look like a horrible combat pilot. So, you know. Come on, man. Do we have to fight in the dark? Anaconda in a low resource site. Lose to an AI Anaconda who's competent. Rebuy. Wanted. Wanted. Part 2, kill 20 player mission. Thinking it's more way based thing. Stay in last 20 minutes. You can't get gone 5 minutes to live class. Yikes. And suddenly gunfire. Security service is here. All right, here goes. And you've got shield cell banks. This is like the worst case for this fighting to have started.
Shields offline.
Yeah, we already need to get out of here. I should not have engaged. We'll regroup and try again. Get off my ass. Well, when I've got a fucking crate with shield cell banks. Well, your weight depends on... Just because you're in a...
Shields online.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just because you're in a Connie... Okay, so calm down with the stutter. Okay, just because you're in your county doesn't mean that you can fight willy-nilly. It'll be interesting if we have time to put the original build back on the ship and fight a little bit with it, because it favors high mobility a whole lot more. The rail cannon gimmick, while hilarious, is not always that effective. That is an asp. You're clean. But now there's 2 crates, so that's not a super simple question. I'm not fucking with that Anaconda with this build. I could drop that adder, but I'll need federal security to get off their, or internal security to get off their ass before I can take down an Anaconda with this build. Let's back to the crate question. I would, I mean, I like the crates, both of them. And they can hit pretty hard depending on how you have them built. This is an interesting situation here. What we can do is probably drop the adder and then stay behind the Connie. So we'll see about having a shot at that. And I can also outrun a Connie very easily. Come here. Why does this thing turn so bad? Helps if I set my pips everywhere correctly. Corsair is just not the most maneuverable thing on the planet. Corsair's okay for dogfighting.
Outstanding.
Alright, now that I can pay attention. I think what we'll do in a second is go back and restore the Corsair's default combat build. It's a lot better representation of what this ship can do. I'm purposely messing around with something
Shields online.
Incredibly stupid. But the build that comes on it is not bad, and much better for actual DPS. I would probably still take the crate, just because I like the crate. That is completely a matter of personal preference, though. But hey, we've got some chaos out here. And if I'm out to make money with combat, then I'm always just going to hop in my Corvette anyways. Oh, Python. I mean, the way he's being hammered on, we can stop by and get a few shots in on the way out. Plus, as you'll notice, the range on this build is comically low. Alright, let's go put this thing back together like a respectable ship. And yeah, it's mass locked again. Cleared, alright.
Increasing.
For my money, one of the most fun dogfighting ships in the game is the Vulture. If you're a good pilot, there's not very much in the game that can shake a Vulture off its ass. But you're also locked down to 2 weapons. Granted, they're big weapons, but it's just a fun ship to fly. Okay, so we got some vets in here. Artie, Monsieur Green, what are y'all's preferred go-to just having fun combat ships? Like not the equivalent of your equivalent of my Corvette, which is just a squash everything with overwhelming firepower. Like, what is your, like, I want to have some fun and just fly a good combat ship? So we're doing, well, all the weapons are in storage here, so I don't have to think too hard about what to do to this thing. I need to look. I don't think this thing's power plant can sustain beams. Wookiee likes the Vulture. Yeah, the Vulture is very fun. The Mandalay? The Mandalay's weapon placement can be a little hard to bring everything on target sometimes. But I do agree the Mandalay is really, really fun to fly in a dogfight because it's so snappy. You know, I didn't even think about that. I'll say one of the strongest points that this ship has going for it in terms of combat is that the gun convergence is, like, solid. That may just be me, but I have had occasions where I've struggled to get all of the Mandalay's guns on target. Feels so much better than Chieftain. I agree, and that's great because the Chieftain is a bonkers fun combat ship.
Docking request approved. Please make your way to
You need a joystick for dogfighting or a mouse? Okay, no, you can do it with a mouse. I did it with a mouse for years. You'll be better at it with a joystick just because of the extra control, but you can do it with the mouse and keyboard, no problem. For efficient plasmas, eat anacondas for breakfast. Where am I going? I need to do some engineering and make some builds like that. I'm just an old school. Like, if you've noticed, the Corvette is fitted with thermal vent beams and some corrosive multi-cannons.
Please stay on current course.
But the caveat to that is the Corvette's also fitted so that those beam lasers never run out of power. It's possible because this thing's weapon convergence is really slick. I think they kind of, I don't want to say they overreacted because it is entirely reasonable that a ship would be built properly, but man, it's night and day from the other Gudamaya ships.
Landing complete. Alight when ready. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau wishes you a pleasant and productive visit, Commander.
Like, one of the things I always laughed at when I was flying the Vulture is if I ran up against a clipper or a cutter, I would just center up on their cockpit and turn the Vulture sideways, like up on its end relative to them. They could never hit you because the weapons couldn't converge on you. So what I'm doing here is I'm restoring the Corsair's actual build. Well, are there supposed to be 3 E's or... Yep, that's right. Okay. I've yet to run into an NPC flying a Corsair, actually. The blending lets go to go. Oh, short range burst with inertial impact. Oof. Alright, let's put our fire groups back in order. Hold on a second here. Yeah, I missed that. We need... One of you is supposed to be a... 2... We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have... Okay, that's what it is. Replace. Oh. Well, that's my bad. I actually don't have the multi-cannons here to fix it. It's fine. Do I have another large multi-cannon? Because I do. That's what we'll do. I didn't put this thing back together right the other day, so I'm actually missing a gun. It's fine. I had to do so much messing around with this thing when I did the review video. Like I swear I swapped the components on it like 30 times.
Landing restraints retracted. You are clear for departure.
This is not a bad ship. I just can't help but ask myself, like, is this really what we were all asking for? My general feeling, just from my pulse community and from my videos and feedback from you guys, is I think everybody would prefer another large ship. Is it available in Coriolis now? That would have made my life so much easier the other day. I had to do all my theory crafting without it being in Coriolis, which was just not fun. And it's an EDSY. They just took a little longer to update. That's fine. It means I can play around with it easier. Not that I really mind spending the money. would rather be able to theory craft it. Oh, to be fair, I try not to actually use Coriolis and EDSY like for showing in videos, because some people, their eyes glaze over when they look at those websites. Which I get, but it ain't good for viewer retention. I will say, one opinion I definitely have is this is the first one of the ARC ships where I looked at the difference between the Stellar and the regular edition, and I was like, wow, you are really pushing it, Frontier. Because the Stellar edition is not just a little better than the regular edition, it is loads better. I didn't price it out, but core internals alone is probably close to like 40 million in difference. Especially when you factor in how much SCO capable frameshift drives cost in game. Like the high-end ones. I feel like they did a pretty good job with some of the ships of not making it too ridiculous, but kind of edging towards it with this one. It's like that Stellar build's really pretty good. Alright, let's get in here and do some fighting with an actual sensible set of weapons. Come here. God, that flickering. Please fix it, FDev. This is what I mean about this thing's weapon conversions. Like, it is money. Now, with conventional weaponry, this thing has got... Oop, no, you're out. Nope, there you are. Ah, there's the surge. This thing's got a lot more going for it. Definitely needs some engineering. Corrosive multi-cans wouldn't be a bad idea on it. Maybe extended mags. Ooh, she's wobbly. First time I really turned FA off on it. Yeah, definitely feels a lot better with the close to default weaponry back on it. You're our only target out here, so sorry, bud. Hi, Lexi. How are you? You and me both, Lexi. Very busy.
That's impressive.
Johnny 187, it's going good. How are you, sir? Or madam. Whichever. Type 6, Viper. Type 6. Type 6. It's Type 6 party. Diamondback. Deployed heart points. Alright, well. Elite. Of course, that's why the chaff. Alright, get done with your nonsense. You never know on the internet, so I always try to just be careful. Alright. That should be the end of this Diamondback here shortly. The Bi-weaves are holding up fairly well. I'll probably definitely trade the lesser health for the recharge on this ship. Alright. Enough. I hate the elite ships and the infinite chaff. It's just... Also, I'm not used to ships living this long. I'm spoiled. Alright, so we've got a Cobra out here. Our little Type 6 party. You look like you're basically it, my guy, and you're mining, so... Aside from earlier today, when we were in the Corvette, the game's not been throwing me too many, decent targets. Take a look at it, you can see why the weapon convergence is so good. They're all right there. 2 on the sides, 3, 4 on the sides, and 1 on the top. None of that nacelle nonsense you have on the other Imperial ships. Not a smart move to ram. Any low profile ships head on. So the energy drain of the pulse laser is not too bad with this build. Any tips for a new player? Lots. My biggest tip would be to try all of the gameplay loops that you can get your hands on. All of them except Alien Anti-Xeno / Stargloid Combat is what you'll hear it called. Should be pretty easy to get into. And find out which one you like. Whether it's combat, trading, exploration, mining. And then kind of try to branch out from there. That, as far as just general getting started tips, that's the biggest thing I can tell you is find out what you like. And the other thing is use your resources. There's combat down there. That looks like an anaconda. There's plenty of us that make tutorials. I've got an entire beginner's guide for you that addresses every single gameplay loop. But I'm also not going to be that guy that's like, go watch my videos instead of me talking to you. Find out what you like, and then try to specialize in that for a little while. Get you, decent ship, save up some money, kind of get to understand the core systems that way, and then switch over to something else that might interest you once you have some money to play with and a cushion. You know, I started out in combat, and then I went to mining. I do some trading. I really love exploration, so those are my, like, exploration and combat's my bread and butter. But it might not be yours. But Elite will give you back what you put into it, so... The other thing I always tell people is if you're looking at a menu and you're super confused, just stop and take a deep breath. Whatever you're looking for, there's probably a button for it. It's just that FDev's UI design sucks sometimes. Like the Galaxy map is a prime freaking example of that.
Performing now.
Let's see. Oh no, I'm taking fire from an Eagle. Oh wait, I'm not in my Corvette. I might actually have to worry about the guns from an Eagle for a minute. You little bastard, come back here. See where the game starts you. That's nothing wrong with staying there for a while. There's also nothing wrong with playing in a private group or solo. What is going on? Is that a wanted con? That's too good of a payday to pass up. And I could just stick to this thing's button. It can't do anything to me, so... My God, that is hurting my eyes. All that fire plus the shadow glitch in the background. Cool, 900K. Well, people like combat community goals. They always have. And especially these days when a lot of us have highly engineered combat ships. I mean, it's nothing to come out here and just smash your way through wave after wave of dudes in fully kitted one of the big three. And it's free money all the way around. It's bounties plus the rewards for the combat or the community goal. So I mean, it's the lowest common denominator of community goal. Are there guilds in this? There are squadrons. They are getting a revamp to be turned into something called Vanguards this summer, and that is all the information I can give you about that, because that is really all FDev has said. They want it to be a way for us to be able to incentivize more group activities, but they haven't really said a whole ton about what they're going to do. There's a lot of speculation. But for example, if I tab over here, this is my squadron of slackers. All 6 of them. But there are a lot of squadrons out there. Some of them are extremely active. So I think that there's going to be a pretty good revamp of that coming this summer, hopefully. In the interim, there are also the in-game powers that you can pledge allegiance to for the power play. And honestly, for a new player, that's not a terrible way to kind of get yourself some extra money, get yourself some extra rewards. We'll look at that once I can drop out of Super Cruise. When do you get to walk on your ships? I don't know that we'll ever get to walk on the ships, and the reason I say that is because these things are not sized properly for us to be walking around in them. The amount of work that I think they'd have to do is not an amount of work I think they will do. The other thing, as a Star Citizen player, one, I enjoy Elite for the ability to just teleport in and out of my ship and not have to walk around a lot, because, you know, I have some larger ships, or have had some larger ships in Star Citizen. One of my buddies has got the freaking Polaris. Something happens when you're in space on the Polaris and you're at the back end of that ship. It takes forever to get to the cockpit or a turret. And it would be the same with the Corvette, the Anaconda, the Big Three. I don't know. If they do it, they're going to have to put in a lot of work. And I really just enjoy just being able to get in my ship and go. So, because it does get tedious sometimes in Star Citizen. Even when I'm getting in my Constellation, and all I have to do is ride that one lift up and walk through a door into the cockpit. Sometimes I'm just like, Jesus Christ, can we just get there already? Versus the cockpit in the middle of the ship.
Execute system shutdown. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau wishes you a pleasant and productive visit, Commander.
The other thing that I've heard thrown around is if you want to get super technical, teleportation technology does exist in Elite, so just a button to teleport you back to the cockpit. We're going to take the Corvette out for one last run, because I'm about to leave for a week, and I just want to smash some ships real fast for the last 15 minutes of stream. Also, what are we up to on... Yeah, this goal's moving. not like I really need the force multiplier that
Ship
much.
released. You may proceed when ready.
Just stay in your lane over there. Excuse me. Fucking NPCs. No, after you, dickhead. And that's how you get fined and murdered by the station. Because of crap like that. Died to 80 light years. Yeah, it's... You're gonna enjoy that shit, man. That is a sweet, sweet ship. Completely random note. Somebody made a mod that puts this ship into Starfield, and oh boy, is it horrible. Of all the games that the Federal Corvette does not belong in, Starfield is definitely the top of the list. I wouldn't worry too much about your power plant and distributor on the Mandalay for exploration, as long as you can power your thrusters. What's up, Commander Blitz? Well, you're second guessing yourself a little bit too much, Mr. Green. You know how to engineer a ship. It's just been a while. Just make sure that you've got your jump range where you want it, and you can run your thrusters for on the Mandalay, and you're good. I mean, yeah, but mass production, but you're starting to get to the point where you're like splitting hairs. Like if you really want to go all out, then you can get normal ones and engineer them, but I would say if you've got that thing up to 80, you're good to go. That's an eye opener. Asteroids? No asteroids. Asteroids? No asteroids. Hi. You ready to get squished? Chaff, you're so funny. And all that shields. Enough with the chaff. Plink, 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 plink. always laugh when AIs use thermal attack against this ship. It is utterly useless against this build. Alright, let's catch up to this Python wing. There go your shields. Get your hull goodbye as well. Well, we got a pair
Certainly.
of eagles. This will be like swatting flies. Got back here. What are you? I actually do not know the answer to that. That is an excellent question. Goodbye. Let's look that up real
Okay.
quick, because I want to know. Real simple answer, no it doesn't. Power play in Elite Dangerous does not directly help grind faction rank with the major superpowers. To raise your rank, you need to complete missions that are aligned with their minor factions. Short, simple, sweet. Alright. Already in a mill. Of course, we're running out of time. Ooh, Fed missions don't like to pop sometimes. It used to be a trick for grinding Fed rank. Let me see if it still exists. Wow, that was... Thargoid evacs aren't a thing anymore. Yeah, donation missions, that requires you to have a lot of money, though. Southeast was... You don't do Alpha Centauri. Yeah, it used to be another thing you used to be able to do is stack missions in Soul, but I don't know that works anymore. I would give Soul a try, though, because you're going to get fed missions there. You just need to take anything that has rep, and a lot of it, as the reward or a potential reward. That's... Federation grind is like the grind. I had a hard time with it back when I did it too. It was a long effort. It's worth it. The Corvette's an awesome ship, but it's a lot. But yeah, keep an eye out for those donation missions because they give you rep for just... It's like a bribe, really, in my opinion. The other thing I can say, and this is true of any time you're trying to gain reputation somewhere, if you do kill missions, make sure you're killing pirates and not members of like other active factions if you can help it, because then they start bickering with each other and you start messing with the BGS and kill missions will start changing, and that's not what you want if you're looking for a specific rep grind. But I would maybe look at starting with Soul, like I said, just because it is the Fed system. A lot of the methods that people use for grinding Fed rank in Soul, I haven't seen them updated since Soul was gutted. I think data delivery missions used to be a really good way. The caveat to that is a lot of them used to take you through Alpha Centauri, which sucks. Perry's Folly, where's that? I'll have to look. Can we slow down, please? Thank you.
You're welcome, Commander.
Oh, like you did anything.
Core Dynamics, Delta India Golf. The Imperial Flight Operations
Afterburners.
welcomes you to our territory.
Applying maximum
We are
thrust.
honored by your visit. Station services have been informed of your arrival.
Request docking.
Sending docking request.
You didn't nail that at all. That command does not work sometimes.
Access permitted. Please land on designated pad number 32.
Alright guys, as we come in for a landing, a note. This will be my last stream until next Friday. We are going on a vacation. So, no live streams until next Friday. I have set up some stream VODs to be released while I'm gone, but they're going to be Monster Hunter stuff, so if you're not into Monster Hunter, probably not your bag, but that's what I got, because I don't tend to hold Elite VODs back for any reason. But we'll be back next Friday. I've got a couple surprises for you guys. Next Friday will be an interesting stream. Just trust me on that one.
Landing complete. Systems offline. Enjoy your stay, Commander. Your comfort is our top priority.
Let me get the big carrier ships up. Nice. So yeah, we'll I will be back next Friday. So looking forward to vacation though. Love you guys, but looking forward to a vacation. So thanks for hanging out as always, guys. I enjoyed it. I love talking to you guys and talking about the game and answering questions. But time to go to the beach and relax. I'll see you guys next Friday. If you are in a Discord though, I am never fully disconnected from Discord, so I will be around there. All right. Y'all have a great week. I'll see you next Friday. 07 Commanders.